There are about 700 varieties of olives in the world. Most people in their minds think olive oil comes from Italy, Spain, Greece, Tunisia, even people are figuring that out, some parts of France. Well, we're gonna blow that whole thing out of the water and show you how it's grown all over the world. So olive oil comes typically in 3 intensities: mild, medium, and robust. Some will say delicate, medium, and robust. When I was a teenager, you start drinking wine, it was always that strawberry, Boone's Farm strawberry wine, you know, right? And then you graduate and you move on up a little bit and you start drinking the pink stuff and then Chardonnay and then whatever. Well, now that I'm an adult, I like the really heavy, I like it strong and very dry. So that's how I kind of look at this. You can have mild olive oil and you can have very strong. Let's focus on Australia, just for the heck of it. About 40 years ago, they did what you said. They took trees from the Mediterranean region and transplanted them into Australia. So there's a Picheline olive tree in Australia that came from the French Mediterranean region that I love. But they were smart. They planted these trees with rows about this wide apart. So some of these trees are, 12, 15 feet tall. So what happens, this is a typical harvest in a modern day grove. Our importer sends an agent out to every single harvest, and they have a stopwatch. And as soon as, like Leandro was telling us, when he's in Australia, he's like, the harvesters will wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll go, it's time. It's time to pick the olives. So they start up these big combines, and these combines roll through these trees like this, and they actually pull the olives off the tree. They never touch the ground. And this is another thing with our importer. Our olive oils are produced completely without hands. They're either the trees are shaken and they fall into nets, or they use these wooden rakes and they fall into the ground. Now, that stopwatch starts as soon as those olives start falling from those trees, and our agent will watch them. They go from the tree to trucks to the mill. How many hours do you think it takes before freshly squeezed olive juice or fruit juice is produced? An hour. Less than 6? Well, and think of this too, in small places like Italy and Greece, where these small farms, they have been doing this for centuries. They're not nearly as modernized and mechanized as Australia. So it can take a while. So it runs the gamut. In Australia, it goes from tree to mill to olive oil in 45 minutes. Our importer, no matter where in the world these olives are being harvested, will not purchase the olive oil if it takes anything more than 3 hours. So that guy or that lady holding the stopwatch, as soon as that olive oil starts coming out, hits that stopwatch. As long as it hits that 3-hour mark, we're good.
One dish is a kind of warm salad with grilled, it'll be pan-seared, but grilled zucchini, feta cheese. I think I'm gonna throw the tomatoes in there for just a minute, and some olives. And then I cut these zucchinis into long strips. They're not super, I didn't bring a mandolin, so I don't really worry about it being perfect, but they're about, a quarter to a half an inch thick. And then they're being browned in here. I just threw a little bit of garlic. So one of the things about garlic is when you heat oil and you put garlic on there, it can burn very quickly. So I didn't want to put the garlic on before I put in the zucchini. So I just put in the zucchini for a few minutes. It's about to come off, and I just put the garlic in for a little bit of flavor. I haven't even salted this yet because I didn't want too much liquid to come off of the zucchini. So I'm going to take it off, let it cool, salt it, and then you can probably start smelling the garlic soon. And then I'm gonna let that cool and do the next batch. And then we're gonna make some little roll-ups. So you can see this is now starting to get a little limp. It's a little brown. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Do you guys notice what's missing here? Smoke.
Right.
This is hot.
So one of the things that I wanted to show you is I had this heating for almost the whole time I was doing the strawberry because I wanted it to be hot. And when I put the olive oil on, it did not smoke. So that's one of the things, if I used a lower quality olive oil, it would smoke immediately, which you've probably done at home. You put the thing on, it's hot, you put the oil in, it starts smoking, you have to take it off, throw away the oil and start all over again from scratch. This, because it's a high quality and high polyphenol olive oil, does not smoke, so it's safe to cook with. All I'm doing right now is I've salted the zucchini. It's finished. I'm just rolling a piece of feta cheese inside of it. And then I'm going to, because I'm probably just gonna finish this, and I'm gonna put some of the tomatoes, the olives on the plate next to it, and then I will make a dressing with fig balsamic vinegar and garlic olive oil. And that's gonna be your salad. The other thing we're gonna do is a fresh strawberry salsa, because I couldn't do something this time of year without strawberries. We went strawberry picking yesterday and I needed to use them. It's gonna have shallot, avocado, some lime zest and some lime juice, and salt and pepper and a little bit of basil olive oil.